You just have to be willing to put yourself out there. And once you do, the magic will begin to happen. I'm happy to use my life as an example so that others can learn. You may have to let some things go before you become successful. Success looks different on everybody, and so does the process. Some of you want success but don't want to let go of the exact thing that's in your way of obtaining success. You can't have it both ways. Welcome to Living Your Truth with Tavares. Wow, thank you. I am living in my blessing. Thank you so much. This is great. Wow. Welcome back to the show. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. How's everybody doing? What's up to everybody up top? What's up to everybody in the middle? And what's up to everybody down here around me? Happy New Year, everybody. I want to shout out everybody who continues to support me even when I have been inconsistent. Thank you for your flexibility. Thank you for rocking with me. Yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate that very, 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 very much. Hope you're all doing great. Hope everyone has been having a great time with the new year. Hope everyone has really been getting involved with what they love to do most, whatever that may be. Maybe it's in your community. Maybe it's just being with yourself, right? Maybe it's being with your significant other. Maybe it's being with friends and family. Today, we're talking about time management, something that I'm still learning a lot about. I'm always very transparent with y'all. Y'all know that. This is an inclusive space. We still doing that here. We still cultivate love in this space. We doing that right here. I want y'all to tell your friends, tell your family, tell your therapist, tell everyone you know that Tavares is back. I had to take some time off though. Y'all know I'm neurodivergent, so there's a lot of things I have to be in sync with. And this last couple of weeks, it's been all right. Shout out to my therapist, Dr. Janice, Dr. Mayal, and Dr. Khalik. I love all of them. They really help me. They mentor me, and they help to, keep me on the go-go. Time management for some people is a huge, huge, how can you say, hindrance. It could be a flaw. But with other people, it could be one of their better characteristics, right? Time management, I believe, comes down to doing a couple of things. One of those things is prepare. Prepare the night before, perhaps, or maybe even hours before you're about to do the thing, right? I myself have found that I perform well under pressure, but that hasn't always been the best thing for me because I was once told if you're on time, you're late. And so when that has applied to me, I have flipped it and said, well, I'm good under pressure. And I have been. I really have been. So I made that type of decision for myself. It may be different for you. And I'm not saying to wait till the last minute to get the thing done. All I'm saying is time management, right? Being intentional with time management helps what? Helps others to manage their expectations of us, the self. And then, of course, we help to manage our expectations of other people when we don't have them. One, two, when we prepare, right? What did Nipsey Hussle say? Uh, it's the crossroad where opportunity and preparedness meet. Shout out Nipsey Hussle. I love that because I believe in that myself. I do believe in staying ready so you don't have to get ready. That too helps with time management. I mean, think about that. If you know that you have been looking for a job and you know that your resume is online, it's on LinkedIn, it's on monster.com. Do they still have monster.com? Anyways, you get what I'm saying. It's on all these platforms where people can see you, Upwork and, a few other ones. And so, and you also have it on your phone. Like to have a PDF version of your resume on your phone, that speaks to what? Staying ready. I know people don't really think about that, but some people do if you're staying ready. I always kept a PDF copy of my resume on my phone because you never know who you're going to run into. You never know. So why not be ready and be like, oh, you know what? By the way, can I send you my resume? Give me just a moment. What's your email? Boom, attachment, boom, done. Now you've jumped over all the red tape. You've jumped over everyone who came before you or that may come after you. Or, hey, look, you've earned the spot. You took advantage of the opportunity, you gave your elevator speech, and boom, there's your opportunity. Time management speaks to this because when we stay ready, we get to manage that time and we get to think it forward. In other words, we get to look at the future and say, okay, I may be going here, here, and here. I should probably have my resume ready. Even if I'm going on vacation. Now I know it's vacation. I get it. We want to unplug. We want to chill out. Get it, got it, good. But staying ready, it has its benefits. Today we're talking about time management on Living Your Truth with Tavares. We're going to pay some bills and y'all know what it is. 2025, look alive. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. It is 2025. Let's look alive and be well. Today we're talking about time management. Y'all know I'm neurodivergent. Y'all know this. So sometimes I get a little overwhelmed when things are not in sync. I get a little overwhelmed when things don't go the way that I intend on them going in my head, right? So in my head it's one way, and then of course in the real life it goes another way. And time management for me, well, it's necessary. I'm not that good at it though, but I'm better than most, but not great or more great than others. So I do what I can with what I have. Time management, being prepared, and going the extra mile, right? For example, when we buy spinach from the store, and I get it home, I like to have raw spinach with a lot of my meals, if not, every single meal, right? And so when I pull the spinach out the case that it comes in, the little see-through box, they still have the stems on them. And I myself don't care for the stems. So I get to taking off one, taking off another, and then I'm thinking to myself, let me just go ahead and do half of this, this little container. This happened the other day. And so this is gonna sound weird, but I found peeling the taking the stems off was actually, it was actually kind of soothing, right? Kind of repetitious, but still, I'm helping to prepare my food and, with my hands and that whole thing, right? So it has this whole organic vibe to it. But where I'm going with this is I ended up doing half a bag, like half of those huge Ziploc bags worth. And it was enough for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 meals. It saved me time in the long run because I know how often I'm going to want to have spinach and I'm going to want it prepared the way I want it prepared for my meal. So, in doing that, I was able to exemplify awareness of my time, not only at the present moment, but in the very near future. And I was also able to mitigate stress, right? So, that's where I was going with it. That makes sense to you? I thought it would. I thought it would. And if it didn't, that's okay too. Feel free to, email me, livingyourtruthpodcast@gmail.com, traditional spelling. Time management can also, it can get away from us. And then, of course, we all have friends that are like, they're on it, super punctual. So punctual to the point where if you're late, you're going to get in an argument with them. It's like friendly fire and stuff. But you're still, you may catch a little bit of heat because they're super punctual. You're not. We all have them friends. We've all been in those situations. Man, what's taking you so long? I'm out front of the house. Been out front of the house for like 10, 15 minutes. And calling like, yo, what's up? What's up? Where you at? I'm coming. Not a good example of time management. But, when you're with your friends are a bit more flexible, right? Some of them, some of the time. But don't let it be like what? A wedding reception, a christening, a surprise birthday. You get where I'm going. So time management, being good at it, being better, having it work for us instead of against us, right? Some of us are like major serial procrastinators. So we don't really care about time management. It's more like when we show up, that's when the party gets started. Totally get it, got it, good. Been there, done that. Now I'm here running with something completely different because that It worked for a short time, but in the new, season of life, it's like you can't really move. Well, I can't move like that. So I love the fact that I'm more aware about time management. I hope that me sharing it with you makes you more aware of your time management. And then, of course, managing where we spend our time and how much of that time, right? I know when it comes to sipping the tea, some of y'all like to be sipping it for a couple of hours. Look, get your taste on, sip a little bit, and then do it moving. Just do it moving because you have other things to do. I mean, do we really want to put 2 hours into sipping tea? I mean, I get that it could be some really good tea, but let's be more mindful of where we spend our time, where we put our energy, because look, time management, this is how we get things done, people. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. We will be right back. Welcome back to the show. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. I am him. Today we're talking about time management. Okay? I've been very transparent. I'm always transparent with y'all. That's why I love doing this. And I love y'all who continue to tune in from around the world. Thank you again to y'all who have been flexible with me, who have been understanding with me, who continue to still rock with me. Trust, right now, today, and the next couple of days, we're going to be releasing several episodes. I know I said that before, but now all the stuff that I had to check boxes on, those boxes have been checked, they've been filed, they are put away. So let's get back into time management. Also, another great thing that comes from time management is improved productivity. That's right. That's right. We get more done, okay? Effective time management allows you to focus on tasks that matter most, helping to get more done in less time. I'm all about maximizing my time. By prioritizing your daily responsibilities and breaking them into manageable chunks, you can stay organized and track, well, you'll be able to tackle a lot, okay? Tackle important tasks without feeling overwhelmed. That's me right there. I often feel overwhelmed. And I have to take a step back. I want y'all to know out there, if you start to feel overwhelmed about the things you have to do, the tasks, take a step back. It's totally okay. Give yourself that option. Give yourself that choice, that decision. Give yourself that grace, that space, and the patience because you're worth it. Okay? I don't want y'all stressed out there. All right? Life is meant to be lived, not stressed out. When you work with a structured schedule, mitigate stress. Distractions are minimized. I try to tell y'all. And every moment is used purposefully. Again, I struggle with this. So for me, being neurodivergent, I have to be very intentional in this space. In fact, I even have to write out my schedule, like on, a whiteboard and what I'm doing from this time to that time. Because when I don't do that, let me tell you something. If I don't do that, say between, I don't know, let's say 9 a.m. and 11 a.m., that could be a long 2 hours for me. A long 2 hours. And it's not just a long 2 hours, it's a frustrating long 2 hours. And it's very hard for me to get in my groove. You ever know someone? Some of y'all may know people, some of y'all may have kids. Like, it's difficult for them to get started on the task at hand. Maybe it's homework, maybe it's some extracurricular things, maybe it's just at the house, coloring, right? In their coloring book. You ever notice sometimes once they're in it, they're engulfed by it, like they're locked in. You could talk to them and they don't even break focus, right? That's kind of like me. Once I'm in, I'm all in. I could even be so in, so deep that I forget to eat. And I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but that was a triple entendre. Just want to point that out. So, when it comes to time management, there's so many great opportunities that we give ourselves. Again, one of them is improved productivity. Moreover, good time management eliminates procrastination. All right. Clear goals and plan in place. That's also what time management gets you. It makes room for additional opportunities to grow, learn, or relax. Productivity becomes a habit rather than a chore, paving the way for long term success in your personal and professional life. Some of us struggle in those areas. Some of us are thriving in those areas. But make no mistake, the people who are thriving probably have good time management skills. And no, I'm not saying that they all do if they're thriving. No, 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 because we all know some people who probably are very successful and who suck at time management. I actually know some people like that, super successful. Well, I guess if you're looking at numbers, right? Multi-millions, etc., and just can't be on time to save their life. Just can't do it. Shout out to those people. Also, time management. What else does it afford us? Reduce stress and anxiety. Who doesn't want that? Okay. Time management reduces the last minute rush to complete tasks. That's me right there. It's common. It's common. And it causes stress. When we allocate enough time for each responsibility, we feel more in control and less pressured. We're going to pick this back up after the break. I like this. I like where we're going with this. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. I am him. Be right back. Welcome back to the show. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. Hello, how y'all doing out there? Happy New Year, everybody. Let's pick up where we left off, okay? We were talking about time management and then, of course, the fact that it reduces stress and anxiety, okay? Not only that, it also enhances your peace of mind, but it also creates a healthier mental environment to work and live in. I just mentioned that, right? For me, it's routine, it's consistency. When those things happen, it's a much healthier lifestyle for me. In fact, it's just a healthier environment overall. And not just for me, for the people who are coming into that space and joining me. See, because I'm neurodivergent and because I'm so focused on what I like to do, and sometimes I get upset. Well, not like upset with someone else, but within myself, I get frustrated if I'm being made to do something other than what I want to do. You probably have children like this. You probably think, oh my God, they're just throwing a fit. They could be neurodivergent. I'm just saying, I'm not a doctor, but I could tell you right now, the symptoms I'm very, very, very familiar with. Extremely. Okay. Only been having it all my life. And I've now gotten more involved with understanding why certain people experience this in life, right? Different conversation, we'll get to that. All right. Having a well planned schedule also ensures that you are prepared. I've mentioned this. Okay. And being prepared for unforeseen challenges. There will always be unforeseen challenges. I'd rather us be ready than remember having to get ready. When we plan ahead, there's room for flexibility. Aha. And unexpected events that don't derail our progress. We never want things to derail our progress, but if they do, we want to allow ourselves a little bit of grace, a little bit of patience, okay? Maybe take a note, make a note so that you don't forget where you were in said process. Knowing that you have time managed on your side allows everything you focus on to be present in the moment instead of worrying about what's left undone. Again, time management, appreciating what's done in the present and not being concerned with what's left undone. We've all been there. I've been there. You leave work, you go somewhere, maybe to hang out, but your mind is still back on that thing. Your body is out with your peers and your coworkers and your friends, but your mind is on that thing. Time management also enhances the work life balance. Good time management ensures that we make time for the things that matter most, whether it's family, hobbies, self care, etc. All right. Effectively managing our work tasks during designated hours helps us to free up some time to spend with, our partners, significant others, maybe some friends, right? And it allows us to designate hours and free up time to spend on other things that we love. Passions, maybe you're into music, maybe you're into drawing, maybe you like to run, stretch, maybe you're a yogi. Again, time management allows for all of these things to have space and for us to manage them in said space. The balance is key to maintaining overall happiness and satisfaction in life. We all balance, we all how can I say this? We all do our part to balance, I believe, the work-life balance. But some of us, let me just say this. The generations before us and the generations before that, a lot of us, perhaps uh I think probably everybody is either has or is going to experience being a part of a family that's just, they're a bunch of hard workers. And we all know these families, right? It's just generations of, maybe they're generations of doctors, maybe the generations of construction workers. The point is that they're groomed while being in the family by way of childhood, right? And so when it comes to the work life balance, some of us are better at it than others. However, some of us are still learning to understand what that looks like. A lot of us work so hard that we don't even concern ourselves with the work life balance because we get into the shmoney. And I understand that, but there's so much more to life than shmoney. Okay. Um, so, when you're pursuing professional and personal responsibilities in harmony, you're less likely to experience burnout because of having good time management skills. They help to set boundaries. Remember that, ensuring neither work or personal commitments overpower the other. A balanced life means more energy, motivation, and fulfillment in all areas of your life. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. Be right back. Welcome back to the show. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. I am him. Today we are talking about time management and all the beautiful things about time management, because we all know that we can be a little, how do you say, late to the party? And look, it doesn't make you a bad person. No, 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 none of that. No judgment here. I'm just pointing out some of these things that we experience through good or bad or in the middle of the road time management. It also helps with improved decision making skills. Hello. I'm all for that right there. When you manage your time wisely, you give yourself space to make thoughtful decisions. Hello. Hello. You deserve that. Okay. Rushed or poorly planned schedules often lead to hasty choices that may not align with your goals. I have been there time and time again. Look, we have to make those choices, but we have to give ourselves space for those choices. Someone just said, Tavares, what do you mean space? I'm going to tell you what I mean. Don't feel like you have to answer or respond to either a text, or a phone call or an email immediately, especially if it's something that you need to think about. Don't just send back a response to appease the other person. We ain't doing that. And I know a lot of people feel, for some reason, pressure to respond when someone sends them a text. You have a choice on how you want to internalize that. So don't think that they want you or need you or that you have to respond so quick. With proper time management, you can weigh options carefully and act with clarity and intention. That is important when it comes to time management. Intention. Planning your time allows you to anticipate potential challenges and consider solutions before they arise. Hello, hello. I love to be the kind of person who gives all the information so that a lot of the questions they may or may not have are already answered. So that when they speak or get ready to fix their lips to ask me a question, they're going to say, well, Tavares, I think you covered it all. That's the whole point. That's what time management gets you. Hello. This forward thinking approach ensures that decisions are proactive rather than reactive. Hello. We want to respond, not react. You dig? As a result, you become more confident in your ability to handle responsibilities and achieve desired outcomes. It's a complete win win, people. When it comes to time management, you are worth the extra moment. Take the extra moment. It also increases confidence and achievement. Uh huh. When we master time management, it builds confidence. It helps us to meet deadlines, complete tasks, achieve goals with consistency. Every success, no matter how small, reinforces your belief in your abilities and encourages you to aim higher. Hello. We want to lift as we rise. That's what it's about. See, time management speaks to a whole lot of things. As you become more efficient, you'll find yourself taking on more challenges, new challenges with greater ease and assurance. This is a good look overall. When you manage your time effectively, you also create track record of achievements. Who doesn't want a track record of achievements? Huh? Who? I know I do. This not only boosts your self esteem, it also earns respect from your colleagues, friends, and family. But most importantly, you give yourself that self respect. You provide that for yourself, and everyone else gets to reap the benefits along with moi. Okay? The sense of accomplishment that comes with being organized and efficient feeds into positive cycle of growth and self improvement. That's what we're here for, and I'm here for all of it. That's why we created this space, everybody. And I want to thank y'all again for staying with me. I got a lot more to come. I know you may not believe me, but y'all just sit back and y'all just see what your kid does for you. You know why? Because I love y'all like that. I love y'all who continue to come back and support me in this space. So I'm about to pour a whole lot into y'all, because if it's one thing I want to do in 2025, it's to do the hard thing differently. Okay? And the reason I say it like that is because when we do the hard thing, I feel that we have it's much more of an enriched growth. Not to say that the easy things don't provide growth, because they do. I feel like though when we got to really get our feet planted in the nice native soil and we get ready to do the thing, we just are more in a position where we got to dig a little deeper to get the thing done. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. We'll be right back.
I'm dark. I'm dark. I'm dark. I'm dark. I'm dark. I'm dark. I know I'm dark. I'm dark. I know I'm dark.
Welcome back to the show. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. Thank you, everybody, for staying locked in. Today, we've been talking about time management and all the beautiful things that come along with time management. I touched on a few today. You know, when we stay ready, we don't have to get ready. That's just not a really cool saying, okay? It's not trendy by any means. It actually works. Time management helps with improved productivity so that we can do things purposefully with every moment, okay? The better the time management, the better chances of us getting a job done with minimal procrastination. It also reduces stress and anxiety. Who doesn't want that? A lot of the stress and anxiety that we experience every single day is self-inflicted because of how we internalize doing these other things. And sometimes the number one reason people give, what is it? What is it? I just don't have the time. Oh my God, I just don't have the time. I could tell you what'll fix that. Also, enhance work-life balance. A lot of us struggle with this. Time management can really mitigate that. We talk about improved decision making. Think about that one. That's a very simple one. Better time management. Why does that equate to better decision making? Because we leave room. We leave room for ourselves to process, to navigate, to understand. That's why it's important. Time management also helps to increase confidence and achievements. You ever feel confident after you've been able to check a whole bunch of boxes in what appeared to be such a short time, but because you were super intentional about how much time you gave to each of the things you were doing, you didn't even realize that you got all kinds of things done. I've been there too. Look up at the clock, it says 10 a.m. Look up at the clock, it says time to eat lunch. Look up at the clock, it's 2 p.m. Look up at the clock, it's 4 p.m. Look up at the clock, it's 6 p.m. Day's over. But I look back at my to-do list and man, I killed it. So, if you want more time, if you want to have less stress, if you want to have more of a work-life balance, if you want better, and better skills to communicate, skills to organize, be more intentional about your time management. It will help you. If you want to say hello, send me an email. Go ahead, livingyourtruthpodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up on Facebook and what is that, Instagram? And same thing, Living Your Truth podcast. Um, Grateful to be back. And I'm excited. The next, what is it? I think we have the next 8 episodes. They're coming your way and they're coming in hot. I'm just going to say that. And then we're going to jump into season 10. Okay? And we're going to get very intentional. And then I got some other things I want to share with y'all because we're going to take it to a whole other level in a whole other podcast. Okay? So in the meantime, love yourself, love each other. Show up to yourself like you're supposed to be somebody because you know you somebody. And live your truth. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.